Hey guys, just a quick reminder that I'm doing an emblem giveaway exclusive to the first 1,000 subscribers on the channel. All you gotta do to enter is be subscribed, and we're getting pretty close, which means there's only about 100 entries left. Thank you. Just like you can't take the donks out of Pixar, you won't be able to take the bonk out of this ability-focused Solar Titan build. Devastate entire groups of adds with unlimited superpowered fusion grenades thanks to our exotic or one-shot high-health yellow bar enemies with a satisfying mini-hammer toss. What's up guys, my name is PixarDonks and welcome to the channel. I play Destiny 2 on Xbox, and my goal with this channel is to provide you guys with creative builds, tips specific to my fellow console gamers, as well as cover niche topics I haven't seen anyone else cover. I play quite a bit of Destiny and follow the game closely, so I'll try my best to make sure any content here will be on topics I have yet to be seen covered elsewhere. That's it for the intro. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let's hop into the video. This build has been one of my favorites for quite some time, and after the balancing changes brought on by Witch Queen, has been fully updated to help Titans everywhere satisfy their need to hit enemies in the face repeatedly with a mini flaming hammer. With Gambit labs as well as double rank rewards live this entire week, there's never been a better time to try out this beast of a build in a game mode that, once I gave it a chance, has been providing me with a surprising amount of fun. Let's hop into the build. Let's take a look at our Gambit Grenade Merchant Solar Titan build. This build will revolve around the exotic gauntlets, the Ashen Wake, the throwing hammer and fusion grenade abilities, as well as some insane cooldown synergies. Our top slot weapon of choice will be the legendary aggressive frame SMG, the Cold Front. We are using this weapon because of the perk Swashbuckler, which gives our weapon a 33% damage bonus whenever we bonk an enemy. The Peace Bond, the Dire Promise, and the Cold Denial are all examples of other primary options that could also work here, depending on preference or availability. This weapon was found during last year's Dawning event, so make sure to check your vault. Our middle slot weapon and exotic of choice will be the linear fusion rifle, the Lorentz Driver. When it comes to Gambit-oriented weapons, this gun has it all. Anomaly provides ridiculous ad clear if you are able to headshot an enemy within a group, while Lagrangian Sight provides a significant damage bonus if you are able to kill and collect the telemetry patterns from 3 marked enemies. Finally, linear fusion rifles are one of the best options in the game when it comes to shutting down invaders, and you always have the multi-kill potential if you decide to invade yourself. This weapon was the Season 15 Season Pass exotic and can be purchased from the Monument to the Lost Lights in the tower. Our bottom slot weapon is the legendary precision frame linear fusion rifle, the Reed's Regret. If you are able to get your hands on a roll of this weapon this season, note that it now comes with the extremely strong Vice Stinger origin trait. This perk, in my opinion, can essentially replace triple tap, freeing up the first slot for something like auto-loading holster or clown cartridge. This weapon can be obtained through the Trials of Osiris or can be purchased from Saint 14 once unlocked. I used to run the Dunemarchers within this build, and while I missed my mini hammer being able to proc those crazy chains of lightning, the Ashen Wake exotic gauntlets allow for an entirely new playstyle based around superpowered fusion grenades. Its exotic perk, Bring the Heat, buffs these grenades to explode on impact, grants intrinsic throw speed, and refunds grenade energy upon grenade final blows. All 3 of these perks are significant in nature, and when combined with our subclass and mods, you will have an unlimited supply of solar nukes to hand out to your enemies. These gauntlets can be earned through a solo legend or master lost sector, or can be purchased from Xur on the weekend. Our subclass of choice will be Middle Tree Solar Titan, due to its ability to buff our grenade and melee through a stacking damage bonus. This bonus is called Roaring Flames and resets and stacks up to 3 times on ability kills. The melee, the throwing or mini hammer, is exactly what it sounds like and can be picked up after bonking an enemy to trigger health regeneration thanks to Tireless Warrior. Burning Maul turns your mini hammer into big hammer and is surprisingly effective at both ad clear as well as shutting down invaders. Before covering armor mods, there are a few things to note about the stat distribution you should be targeting when running this build. If you are confident in your ability not to send your mini hammer flying off the map, the strength stat can be ignored, as you will theoretically be able to keep the same hammer through an entire activity. Focus on discipline to ensure 100% uptime on your fusions and recovery to make sure you are at full health between waves of enemies. Taking a look at our helmet, I have set it to the arc energy type in order to slot double hands on. The sheer amount of mini hammer kill potential within this build allows us to generate our super very quickly, while melee wellmaker will more than be sufficient as our only source of solar wells. Moving on to our gauntlets, I have set these to the solar energy type in order to slot double impact induction. For similar reasons as to why hands on is so powerful, this mod allows us to gain large chunks of our grenade on melee kills. Elemental Charge will allow us near 100% uptime on Charge with Light through our steady supply of solar wells, which will be important later. I have set our chest to the solar energy type in order to slot Well of Life. If you guys have seen my previous videos, you know I love this mod, and I reiterate my stance that it is the most powerful well mod in the entire game. Having near 100% uptime on significant healing allows us to focus on not whiffing our mini hammer or blowing ourselves up with a fusion. Our legs have been set to the solar energy type in order to slot Well of Ordnance. This mod further ensures 100% uptime on our fusion grenades, while SMG and linear fusion rifle holster cover all three of our weapons, making it so they are always ready whenever we decide to take a break from the ability spam. Finally, our mark has been set to the Void Energy type in order to slot the mod Protective Light. Yes, you heard me correctly, and while the former King of Survivability mod's Fall from Grace has been harsh due to the nerf it received in Witch Queen, hear me out. You have the ability to be charged with light 100% of the time when running this build as long as you are consistently getting mini hammer kills, and while 10% is certainly not the same as the 50% it used to be, constant damage reduction with little to no setup is a welcome addition in my opinion. That is all the information you need to set up this build. I will now let some background footage from this week's Gambit Labs play out as I note some of the key things to notice when running this build for yourself. This is extremely important to every Guardian, but especially those playing on controller. Make sure you bind your charge melee ability before attempting to run this build. Auto melee makes it impossible to throw your hammer close to an enemy as you will default to a punch, and this positioning mechanic is crucial to the success of the build. Once you have it set, practice bonking your enemies from close range so that the hammer bounces instantly back into your hands. It will take some getting used to, but in general, aim further down than you are used to until you find the sweet spot between being able to hit enemies and not throwing your hammer 500 feet off the map. This build can be as deadly to yourself as it is to your opponents if you are not careful. Unbinding auto melee is great when you have your throwing hammer, but be aware that it will take away your ability to throw a normal punch. This can be easy to forget if you don't often change your bindings, and I apologize to my Titan brethren everywhere for losing this melee battle to a hunter. Additionally, be aware that it is very possible to get carried away with your fusion grenades and... yeah. The blast radius is quite large, and they do a ton of damage at Roaring Flames ×3, so make sure you save them for your enemies and not yourself. Finally, while we are on the topic of Roaring Flames, make sure to stack this bonus with a few hammer kills before turning your attention to the fusions. Killing a large group of enemies becomes much more likely the more stacks you have, and netting 3 to 4 kills in a single throw will instantly refund the entire charge. For this reason, grenades should be saved for large groups of adds, while the mini hammer can be used to one-shot single enemies no matter their health bar, just ask this high value target, as it does not rely on multi-kills. That's all for today's video. Thank you to everyone who made it to the end. I hope you found this guide useful, and I hope to hear the sweet sound of some satisfying bonks from my fellow Solar Titans in the near future. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for any and all future content, and comment down below. What 3.0 subclass change are you most excited for, and why is it solar? Until next time, PixarDonks has left the building.